Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Wade from Unparalleled Universe. I just wanted to let you know about the Kickstarter that I've launched for the first ever 1/12 scale Odious figure. Odious is a character that I've created, and I'm trying to make a figure of him via Kickstarter, so be sure to check that out. Odious 1/12 scale action figure on Kickstarter. Thank you very much. Peace.
Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, The Marvels Build-A-Figure wave of totally awesome Hulk. So here we have some MCU figures finally. I'm super excited. You guys know me. I love the MCU figures, except when they're not that great. And this Captain Marvel is not that great of a figure, and I will get into it soon. But here, let's take a look at everything she has. Let's take a look at the box. You can see the totally awesome Hulk is the Build-A-Figure of this wave. Captain Marvel, Photon, Miss Marvel, Marvel Boy, Karnak, Commander Rogers, which means Iron Man is the double in the case. Iron Man does not have a Build-A-Figure piece for a wave that is based on the Marvel's movie, Captain Marvel, Photon, and Miss Marvel. Not one of them is double packed. Not one of them comes without the Build-A-Figure piece, which is usually, you know, the more popular figure of the wave, the one that's going to sell more, doesn't need the Build-A-Figure piece for it to sell. Yeah, they did that for Iron Man. That's probably the right choice in all honesty, but still, it makes it seem a little odd, right? Just a little bit. But anyway, that is the wave breakdown. We have this cool logo here for the Marvels. It's got, you know, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Photon's logos all mixed in there, and that is actually really cool. Side artwork is kind of the live action. It's still promo artwork stuff of Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers there. Looking at the back of the package, you can see what the breakdown is. Extra set of hands, little fire flare effects for her hands, her arms, and then a leg for totally awesome Amadeus Cho Hulk. So here is the Build-A-Figure piece. Take a close look at that. He is a bright ass green, so that is pretty cool. You can see there with his suit, a little bit of purple and black in there. So that is cool, like that. Stick that off to the side. In terms of accessories, out of the package, Carol Danvers has fists, and then she comes with an extra hand. So she's got a grip hand for the right, with nothing to actually grip, and she has a vertical hinge on that one. So that's interesting that she would have a vertical hinge for something that she does not carry, hold, or anything. And then just an open hand for the right. I wonder if that is weird. Maybe there's an accessory piece that will come with a different figure that she will hold. Maybe a store exclusive, like the villain or something. It's weird we're not getting villains for any of the MCU movies. I don't know what's going on with that. We're finally getting Scarlet Witch for Multiverse of Madness, Target exclusive. We do not have a High Evolutionary, so what the hell is going on? Anyway, so we get these effects. They're just all yellow, not even like a color gradient to orange or anything in them, just plain out yellow. And we have the figure, and it's okay. It's okay. There's a couple weird things about it, like really weird things, like the elbows and the knees. They're double joints and they're ugly as hell. Really, really ugly. The face sculpt for Brie Larson, Carol Danvers, I think it's okay. You know, I don't have any real problems with it other than it just looks a little too plain and boring. With the digital print, you know, we see a lot of detailed faces that I think come out looking really good. And even like this one in comparison, like the Avengers Endgame, the 2-pack that was exclusive to Amazon that had Rescue in it. This one just looks a little bit better. And I don't know if it's a difference maybe in the skin tone because it's more of a matte finish, whereas this one, there's a little bit of a shine to it, and I think that might be throwing it off. But there's just no real sculpted detail into it. Like her jawline, her cheeks, they just look a little, I don't know, there's just something about it. It just looks weird. It just doesn't look as detailed in the sculpt, like the curves of her face, her cheekbones, and things like that. We just don't see that in this head sculpt, and it's throwing me off a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I think with a lot of them, not even all of them, because some of them are bad. Usually we get head sculpts that have a pretty good like sculpt to it overall, whereas I just don't think we really get that here. But let me see if I can get in closer for you guys. Okay, so getting in a little bit closer is like you could see it's just something in the sculpt of her cheeks and everything. It just looks a little bit off to me. It almost looks like this cheek on this side looks a little bit bigger than this side. And I don't know if it's because the hair causing some shadows making it look that way, but it's just kind of throwing me off. Her hair is not really a blonde color, as you can see, like the difference in the blonde hair colors that we have gotten of Carol Danvers in the past. This is definitely a lighter color. And then what it really reminds me is there's like Funko Pops were in that like Pantone color where it's almost like a not like a rust, but it's got like a greenish beige to it, and that's what this reminds me of. It's a little bit odd, you know. I like that we get some color differences in the hair, but it just looks a little bit off to me. It just doesn't quite look blonde, if that makes sense. It's really weird. She's got the braid in there. But yeah, the digital face print looks pretty good. Again, there's a little bit of a shine to it. It just looks a little off in my opinion. Something about it's just a little weird. There's not a whole lot else going for the figure in terms of paint or anything like that. We get some gold in the boots. We get some gold here on some gauntlet wrist pieces. And then we got the red and the gold in the suit. And that's all applied pretty nicely in this belt. There's a little bit of gold. Her arms, because it's a dark blue color, they painted on the flesh tone, and I think it's okay. It does make it a little bit more orange or something that just doesn't really match the flesh tone. Oh, I guess it's a decent match. It's thrown off a little bit because you could kind of see the blue through it a little bit. Again, it's not terrible, but you know, it's just not the ideal situation. But there she is. But let's go ahead and zoom out for the articulation, and I'm going to talk about the weird elbows and knees because they are bad. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about this before I go into the articulation because I did pull out the first head sculpt. While this one is a whole hell of a lot better than this one, I want to kind of notice like the differences in the head sculpt and like look around the cheekbones, look around the chin. The sculpt of it just looks more like real person like, whereas this sculpt, it just looks too smooth. It reminds me of like an animated series figure type of thing, if that makes sense. I know there's a little bit right there around her nose, but you know, this figure, like, look at the cheeks, look at the lips, look at it, like everything. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. If you guys get if I'm explaining that well, and I might not be, but that's just kind of what my deal is with the head sculpt. Whereas I do definitely see the Brie Larson likeness is, you know, but this one, ooh, I mean, at the time, I guess it was okay because we didn't have anything else to compare it to, but you know, we have different versions to look at now, and you know, I do think this one is the best likeness to Brie Larson. I just don't think it's the best head sculpt, whereas I think this one's probably the winner of that. Okay, but now let's go ahead and look at the articulation. But while I'm zoomed in, this is what I wanted to talk to you about the elbows. Look how ugly that double jointed elbow is. Why does it have that huge piece in there? It's just really ugly. And then the same's gonna actually go apply to the knee. If I can get this one, it's just really weird, really flat the way they did it. I don't know why it has this huge piece in there to do that, or if they couldn't make it smaller. I know her legs and arms are pretty thin, but it comes out looking really weird in my opinion. But anyway, so now let's go ahead and see the full articulation. Okay, so Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, she can look down all the way, even though her head is on a dumbbell joint. That is pretty good. She's not going to be able to look up because the hair is just going to get in the way, but you can do that if you get the head all the way back. So it does look like she's kind of looking out. If you want to get her into a flying pose, it's going to be a little bit of a problem, so you would have to do stuff like that. You get full rotation in that head. There is some head pivot going on in there. The arm goes straight on out. We don't have to worry about these shoulder pads or anything like the previous figures, but straight on out. Full rotation, upper bicep swivel in there. The elbows are pinless, double joint, so you get a good amount of bend. It's just an ugly, ugly bend in my opinion. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. The hands have the standard horizontal hinge, except again, the left grip hand, which has a vertical hinge of gripping absolutely nothing. So I wonder if there was something maybe planned that couldn't work out, or something that may come with a different figure or something. It's just weird to me that they would do a vertical hinge on a grip hand with nothing for her to grip. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think it's odd. Diaphragm joint, she could tilt to her left that much. She could tilt to her right that much. It's pretty good tilt to the sides. To the back is okay. You could see some of the gap in the figure as you like try and pull it a little bit. But coming forward, again, it's very, very little on a female figure. I mean, you could see that it does. It's just not a whole lot. Swivel at that diaphragm joint. And then going back, you could really see kind of the gap in the figure as well. Legs go out that far apart. It's pretty good. Leg goes forward that much. Doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee. And again, it's an ugly knee bend in my opinion. That much bend. No calf swivel or boot swivel or anything like that. Foot hinges down all the way. A little bit of hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet, and then she's got the platform boots in there. And it doesn't, she's stable. There's no problem like getting her to stand or anything like that. So there's nothing really to worry about. As long as you just get the feet flat, she'll stand up with no issue. Okay, so here are the comparisons with the other Captain Marvel figures. I know we did get the one with the bomber jacket. We got the one with in the black and green for the Star Force. Ooh, what was it called? I think it was the Star Force. Yeah, Star Force, I think. So we had a couple of different Captain Marvel figures. I don't know that we'll get any more than this one for the movie. We'll see how the movie comes out. This movie is probably the least excited for an MCU movie that I've been. I enjoyed the first one. I didn't think it was like the greatest movie ever or anything, but I really enjoyed it. I think it got way too much hate for it. I don't understand the hate for Brie Larson. I'm actually a fan of hers. Not that I would go out and see a movie just because she's in it or anything like that. But I think she's a pretty good actress. I have no issues. But the Marvels movie, I don't know, something about the whole transferring of powers, they switch places thing seems a bit odd to me. But, we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the movie is really good. I hear there's some kind of musical number in it that I hope is not going to end up in the final cut because it doesn't sound like it would be any good. But, we'll see. One thing I do want to check, because I know people are going to be curious about this, is does this helmeted head sculpt fit on the Captain Marvel? Because apparently it seems that she will not be wearing a mask or helmet at all. But yes, it does fit on there. The reds are not exactly the same. The blues are definitely different because you can see the previous one was a very metallic blue. But it does fit on there, and it does kind of work, actually. So if you wanted to do that, you actually could. You could make it work. But yeah, so I'll pop that off. You guys let me know down the... son of a... So there's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't do that because now I have to try and get this ball peg out of there. And put that back onto the neck and then put the correct head on there. Because, whoops, that should not be the case. Usually, these ball pegs should not come out of the neck. On some figures, it does. And now I have to try and get it out of there. So, separate neck piece, but that does not swivel or anything like that in there. But wish me luck on getting this out nice and easy. Okay, I got it. I do not recommend... doing that because that was kind of a pain in the ass, and then I don't know if I kind of scraped down some of these little balls on there to kind of keep it, inside the neck, and I might have stressed out the plastic, so not something that you would want to do. So just a heads up on that. But yeah, look at that, good as new. So there we have it. So you guys let me know down in the comments below which Captain Marvel figure is your favorite. What do you think of this new one? I think it's okay. The shorts, the sleeves are a little bit different, but we saw that at the end of the Miss Marvel show. If you guys watched that show, it was a pretty good show. Hopefully you guys check that out. But you guys let me know down in the comments below which is your favorite Captain Marvel figure. Do you think this is a big improvement from the previous ones? I think it's decent. Like the texture of the suit and everything looks pretty good. The articulation is improved, even though it is weird. We do get the double jointed elbows, which we did not get before. But yeah, I think it's just an okay figure. I'm a little disappointed. But hopefully the Photon figure, which will be the next review, hopefully that one will really make up for it because that one just really looks amazing. And I think that was going to be the one that people were really talking about the most when they were officially revealed. So we'll see how that one looks. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU Collective. And as always, thank you for watching.